Volkswagen is unable to sell electric vehicles since the worst electric vehicle market meltdown in history has already started. When Volkswagen's CEO said, "The roof is on fire, this is the final wake-up call," he was alerting the whole electric vehicle sector. Due to a lack of demand, VW is experiencing severe customer backlash and is unable to sell electric vehicles. Customers' rejection of electric vehicles was so strong that VW was forced to completely stop manufacturing as its electric vehicle sales fell by 50 over. Volkswagen's electric vehicle problem is only getting started. With a large electric vehicle fire risk recall and now the worst electric vehicle market collapse in our history. In light of the lack of demand, why is Volkswagen pushing electric vehicles so hard? Is this the start of Volkswagen's demise? Will their covertly developed electric vehicle killer fuel be able to preserve their combustion vehicles? This is precisely what happened. With thousands of electric vehicles unsold and the highest debt of any automaker, Volkswagen is essentially facing an existential crisis as its consumers protest against them. This is the result of managers giving politicians more weight than their clients. And this risk is evidently the result of promoting electric vehicles and vehicles that do not suit the needs of their target market. To start with, VW has been bragging to everyone that they are selling around 45 more electric vehicles this year than they did last, which is fantastic news. The main twist, however, is that their electric vehicle statistics are not what they first seemed to be. The electric vehicles that were bought this year are being delivered, and overall electric vehicle orders decreased by 50 this year. Currently, Europe is a major market for VW's electric vehicles. It sells the majority of them there. But in addition to their largest market, China, which VW is almost set to exit, they have also seen a decline in electric vehicle sales. Why? Since other businesses understand how to set fair prices for their goods, Volkswagen is being killed by the vicious pricing wars. Even after having to lower the price of their ID series for the fourth time this year, sales are only now beginning to increase. In addition, the electric vehicle market has started to collapse completely, which might save you hundreds of dollars. More on that in a moment. The CFO of VW, a man by the name of Arno Antlitz, said that the current state of the electric vehicle industry is not unique to VW. Now, the executives at VW are advising that production of these electric vehicles be slowed down. In reality, their manufacturers in Germany were forced to halt production of the ID.3 and the Cupra Born, two of their electric models, for a few weeks. They claim that the reason is a decline in demand. Like they produced a lot of electric vehicles and then discovered, well, that not enough people were interested in purchasing them. When CEO Thomas Schaefer told his staff that the roof structure was on fire, it further solidified VW's dilemma. The last wake-up call is this: we must reduce expenditure because we are allowing expenses to rise too high in many sectors. This is the final call. When former CEO Herbert Diess visited Tesla's plant a year ago, he was utterly horrified by what he found. In the time it takes Volkswagen to create one electric vehicle, Tesla is producing 8 of them. "We weren't prepared for our primary rival to be that quick," he remarked. "We won't give up on it, even if it will be difficult. We still have a chance to be first, or at least second, by 2025, in my opinion." Volkswagen seems to be lagging behind in its efforts to transition to electric vehicles. They were even found to be selling cars that were very likely to catch fire. I'll tell you more about that at the conclusion of the movie. Tesla, however, is just accelerating forward. In 2021, their market capitalization reached an astounding $900 billion, whilst VW lingered at about $96 billion. How many automobiles are they selling to? Well, VW sold $8.9 billion and Tesla delivered around 936,000 vehicles. Just 452,900 of them were electric. Tesla is growing at a breakneck pace. They still have locations in California and Shanghai, but they are also building plants in Berlin, Texas, and other places. They seem to be everywhere. Almost 300,000 diesel vehicles are kept in 37 locations throughout the US as a somber reminder of Volkswagen's unethical behavior. due to Volkswagen's historic 2015 emissions scandal, in which the firm was discovered to be employing software tactics to cheat emissions testing. There is now a massive automotive purgatory. In the wake, there were enormous repurchase settlements totaling $7.4 billion, as well as the enormous responsibility of keeping these recalled cars. There have been significant losses as a result of an additional EU ban on combustion engines. But VW has other ideas. For years, they have been quietly creating a novel fuel without anybody knowing. Let's speak about their electric vehicle issues first, however. At its electric vehicle manufacturing facility in Emden, Germany, Volkswagen has started reducing shifts and decelerating the pace of production. It's not that they're unwilling to produce them. It's because the public isn't all that interested in purchasing them. People are using the phrase strong customer reluctance a lot. Seems like a nice way of conveying that our electric vehicles are unwanted. They even had to postpone their 2-week late shift in order to finish creating their ID4 and ID7 models. And what do you know? To make up for their losses, they have even begun to fire employees. When a corporation like VW begins to reduce employment and output, it's fairly serious, but there's still more. Let's now discuss the frightening aspect. The cash in Volkswagen is deeply in debt. We are discussing an astounding $192 billion that is comparable to the GDP of many rather developed nations. However, why is VW's electric vehicle situation such a mess? A contributing factor in this is the sharp decline in European subsidies and other inducements for purchasing electric vehicles. It's also no secret that, despite using outdated technology and shoddy infotainment systems, their vehicles are priced more for no apparent reason. Herbert Diess, the head of VW, had big plans for a new electric vehicle and an opulent new plant, which would have added to the drama. But Oliver Bloom eventually took his position. And then everything was different. After surveying the area, the new person enters and says, "Nope, we're not doing that." They made the decision to abandon the designs for their new $2 billion facility and instead rearrange the operations of their current facilities. Let me now tell you about VW's unscrupulous actions, which put thousands of recalls and countless lives in jeopardy. Every single ID4 electric vehicle that VW sold in the US has to be recalled. Why? Due to a potential for fire. They discovered a charging cable issue earlier this year that may start a fire. They've now found another problem. It's the roof this time. The inside sunshade material on the 2023 vehicles has the potential to ignite a fire. Your car's roof might suddenly catch fire while you're just driving along. That is the stuff of nightmares, and the problem is not trivial. There are 23,883 VW ID4s that may be affected by this issue. Wait, things get worse. A second fire hazard forced Volkswagen to recall over 100,000 of its plug-in hybrid cars worldwide. This one concerns improper insulation of the high-voltage battery. It's comparable to having a time bomb in your automobile. There are several models there, including Passats, Golfs, Tiguans, Arteons, and even some Audi models that may catch fire. Let's now discuss their ideas for reasonably priced electric vehicles. VW was really excited a while ago about producing a small electric vehicle for less than $20,000. This seems like a great price for an electric vehicle, doesn't it? They're not so convinced they can pull it off, however, these days. They believe they won't make any money with inexpensive electric vehicles. They were counting on a breakthrough in battery technology to slash prices in half. However, it seems unstable even with that. VW may thus be unable to fulfill its pledge to provide an inexpensive electric vehicle. VW has been developing a new covert electric vehicle killer in their laboratories that is going to revolutionize the way people see automobiles today, rather than fully committing to electric vehicles. He's considering the wider picture, even if electric vehicles have been all the rage lately. Hey, electric automobiles are great and all that, he's saying. However, what about this amazing technology known as e-fuels? All those automobiles that are now on the road and won't be going away anytime soon are on his mind, his concept. Instead of simply throwing them out, let's tidy them up. These e-fuels are not your typical diesel or gas. They are much cleaner than previously and are comparable to the magic ingredient that kept combustion engines operating. We are discussing essentially zero CO2 emissions. By 2027, VW is anticipated to begin using this technology onto its cars. However, if they only depend on electric cars until then, they are treading carefully. If the market has taught us anything, it is that combustion engines will continue to be used for power, and that electric vehicles are not the way of the future. VW has a massive mountain to climb for the time being. These safety flaws need to be fixed, and an affordable electric vehicle model has to be developed. For them and anybody operating one of their vehicles, it's a frightening moment. Are VW electric vehicles appealing to you? Or do you like to use the reliable, vintage combustion engines? Tell me in the comments section below. I have published a video with significant information that might harm the electric vehicle market as a whole. If you want to be genuinely surprised by what's going to happen with electric vehicles, definitely check it out.